The Mexican drug war, an ongoing conflict between the Mexican government and powerful drug trafficking organizations, DTOs, officially escalated in December 2006 when newly elected. President Felipe Calderon deployed over 6,500 federal troops to Michoacan state as part of Operation Michoacan. This marked a shift from previous passive stances toward cartel violence, which had simmered for decades, but intensified after the decline of Colombian cartels in the 1990s, allowed Mexican groups to dominate trafficking routes to the United States. Calderon's militarized kingpin strategy aimed to dismantle cartels by targeting leaders, supported by U.S. assistance through the Merida Initiative, which provided billions in equipment, training, and intelligence. Prior to 2006, major cartels like Sinaloa, Gulf, Juarez, and Tijuana controlled drug flows, often with tacit government tolerance. The Guadalajara cartel, fragmentation in the 1980s, and the rise of groups like Los Zetas, former Gulf cartel enforcers, set the stage. Calderon's offensive, however, fragmented these organizations, sparking inter-cartel turf wars and retaliatory violence against authorities. Early hotspots included Ciudad Juarez, where Sinaloa clashed with Juarez cartel, turning it into one of the world's most violent cities, and Michoacan, home to La Familia Michoacana. Violence surged dramatically. From 2006 to 2012, over 60,000 deaths were recorded, with peaks in 2010-2011 exceeding 15,000 annually. High-profile captures, such as Arturo Beltran Leyva, 2009, and key Zetas leaders, weakened some groups but led to splintering. Los Zetas broke from Gulf Cartel, and La Familia evolved into the Knights Templar. Cartels diversified into extortion, kidnapping, and human smuggling, fueling corruption and attacks on journalists, politicians, and civilians. Mass graves, beheadings, and public displays of bodies became hallmarks of intimidation. Enrique Pena Nieto, 2012 to 2018, promised a shift from confrontation to reducing violence, focusing on social programs while continuing arrests. Notable successes included recapturing Joaquin El Chapo Guzman in 2014, after his 2001 escape, and again in 2016, leading to his 2017 extradition to the U.S., yet violence persisted, with the emergence of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, a hyper-violent splinter from Sinaloa, challenging dominance. Homicides topped 25,000 in 2017, driven by fentanyl production and U.S. demand. Disappearances exceeded 60,000 by 2020, many linked to cartels or complicit officials. Andrés Manuel López Obrador, 2018-2024, campaigning on hugs, not bullets, de-emphasized military confrontation, creating the National Guard, initially civilian-led but militarized, and addressing root causes like poverty. Extraditions continued, but critics argued leniency allowed CJNG and Sinaloa remnants to strengthen. Violence remained high, with over 30,000 annual homicides, and cartels adapted to synthetic drugs like fentanyl, exacerbating the U.S. opioid crisis. By 2025, under President Claudia Sheinbaum, elected 2024, the war continues amid U.S. pressure from President Donald Trump, who designated cartels as terrorist organizations and conducted strikes on trafficking vessels. Sheinbaum has rejected U.S. military intervention, emphasizing sovereignty while extraditing dozens of leaders and deploying troops to hotspots like Sinaloa. Internal Sinaloa faction wars sparked by arrests like Ismael Mayo. Zambadas have caused thousands of deaths in 2025 alone, with CJNG alliances complicating dynamics. Cartels now use advanced tactics, including drones learned from global conflicts. The human toll is staggering: over 460,000 homicides since 2006, plus more than 125,000 disappearances. Socioeconomic factors, poverty affecting nearly half the population in the early 2010s, sustain recruitment, while corruption erodes institutions. U.S. gun flows and drug demand perpetuate the cycle. Despite capturing dozens of kingpins, fragmentation has birthed more violent, decentralized groups. The conflict has spilled into Guatemala and U.S. border regions, with cartels employing hundreds of thousands directly. Nearly 2 decades on, the Mexican drug war illustrates the limits of militarized approaches. While some cartels have weakened, others like CJNG rival Sinaloa's former power. Peace remains elusive as violence adapts faster than policy, leaving Mexico grappling with one of the hemisphere's deadliest conflicts.